Welcome to Spotlight Reads. Today we are looking at the Brothers Karamazov. Now this book is so much more than a simple murder mystery. We're going to approach it as it was intended, as a profound psychological and spiritual trial of humanity itself. And at the heart of that trial is this very question. This one question echoes through every single page, every character's soul. You see, Dostoevsky has constructed a kind of philosophical courtroom. The defendant on the stand isn't a person, it's all of humanity. And the charge is defining morality in a world that's lost its divine certainty. So, to hear the case, we'll examine the testimony of the three Karamazov brothers. We have Dmitri, the passionate heart, Ivan, the rebellious intellect, and Alyosha, the compassionate soul. Each one represents a fundamental aspect of the human condition, a different answer to the central charge. Let's begin. First, we call Dmitri Karamazov to the stand. He is the embodiment of our raw, earthly passions. This is the testimony of the senses. This quote sums up Dmitri perfectly. His testimony reveals a man completely torn between his noble ideals and his most base desires. For Dmitri, morality isn't some abstract thought experiment. No, it's a visceral, agonizing conflict being waged right inside of his own soul. He is a creature of just, intense feeling. A sensualist, right? His whole life is defined by impulse, which is then immediately followed by this crushing guilt. And from that guilt comes a desperate belief that his only path to redemption, to purification, is through suffering. He really is the untamed, chaotic heart of humanity, forever wrestling with itself. So his morality, it's not reasoned out, it's felt. All right, next to the stand we hear from Ivan Karamazov, and he's here to present the prosecution's case against God, armed with nothing but cold, powerful logic. And this question, this is the very core of Ivan's rebellion. His entire argument hinges on the unanswerable problem of innocent suffering. It's a reality that his logical, his Euclidean mind simply cannot reconcile with the idea of a benevolent creator. He fundamentally refuses to accept any kind of divine harmony that's built upon the tears of a single tortured child. So you have to understand, his rebellion isn't emotional, it's intellectual. It is a logical conclusion he has drawn from what he sees as an unacceptable premise. And all of this culminates in his famous parable, which is really the philosophical centerpiece of the entire novel. This parable, the Grand Inquisitor, becomes the core of his atheistic indictment, is just a devastating critique, not only of divine authority, but also of the sheer burden of human freedom. So the Inquisitor confronts Christ in his prison cell, and he argues that true freedom, well, it's an unbearable burden for the weak masses. He claims that the Church, in its infinite wisdom, has taken this terrible gift away from humanity in order to provide what people really crave: security, authority, and bread. The Inquisitor's whole point is that mankind ultimately rejects free will, that we trade it away for miracle, mystery, and authority, the exact three things Christ refused to provide. So the Church has built its earthly kingdom on these very principles, giving humanity the illusion of happiness by relieving them of the agony of choice. It's a truly chilling argument, one that echoes in every debate we have between freedom and security, even today. And so finally we turn to the youngest brother, Alyosha. His entire life serves as the novel's primary defense, a defense of faith and spiritual love. Now, Alyosha's worldview, which was shaped by his mentor, Elder Zosima, it counters Ivan's devastating logic, but not with a superior argument. That's the key. It counters it with a completely different way of being. What he represents is something called active love, and this isn't some abstract love for humanity in general. No. It's a love for the individual, suffering person standing right in front of you. And this is the path away from Ivan's intellectual pride, away from Dmitri's sensual chaos. It's a path toward a kind of grace that's only found in that direct, empathetic connection to others. And right here, this is the central choice that Dostoevsky is presenting to us. On one side, you have Ivan's rebellion. It's born from a demand for rational justice, and it leads straight to isolation and despair. But on the other side, you have Alyosha's active love. It accepts mystery, it heals through compassion, and it offers a path toward connection and hope. So what is it? What is the court's final verdict in this great trial for the human soul? Well, Dostoevsky doesn't give us one verdict. He gives us three paths, three possible outcomes for a humanity that's grappling with its own freedom. There's Dmitri's path of passion, which leads to chaos redeemed only by suffering. There's Ivan's path of reason, which concludes that everything is permitted and leads to moral paralysis. And then there's Alyosha's path of faith, where active love makes everything possible. Because the ultimate conclusion is that there is no external verdict. The novel doesn't give us a simple answer. This conflict between reason, passion, and faith, it isn't meant to be resolved. It's meant to be lived within each and every one of us. The battlefields, just as Dmitri said, is the human heart. And so ultimately, the novel suggests that the true spiritual punishment, the real hell, isn't some divine retribution from on high. It is the profound hellish isolation that comes from a failure of love, right here, on earth. The trial, you see, continues. Dostoevsky leaves the final judgment not to some external judge, but to you, the reader. In our own world, still grappling with these same forces of belief, reason, and passion, the responsibility, the verdict, is ours. This deep dive was brought to you by Spotlight Reads. Subscribe to Face the Abyss.
So why does the Brothers Karamazov still matter? Because Dostoevsky knew the real war is inside us. Dmitri burns with passion. Ivan challenges morality itself. Alyosha holds a fragile light against the darkness. And in the shadows, silent hands commit the loudest crimes. Good and evil are not outside forces, but choices we make in every quiet moment.